It's 7 minutes Saturday, 7 minutes. It's 7 minutes Saturday, 7 minutes. What time is it? 7 minutes Saturday, 7 minutes. It's 7 minutes Saturday, 7 minutes. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back for another episode of 7 Minute Saturday with me, Oni. Shake 'em up, shake 'em up, shake 'em up, shake 'em up. Something good, get something good. I want to start setting boundaries in every area of my life. Where do I start? All right. We setting some boundaries this year and going into the next year. 7 minutes. Okay, y'all know I gotta read it again. I want to start setting boundaries in every area of my life. Where do I start? Well, as always, I think that it's important to define words, you need to know what exactly it is that you're looking for. So, okay, hey, I want to start setting boundaries in my life. I think it's very important to kind of look back. Where in time, or what was a time period or, where you didn't have boundaries? So, like, was it your childhood? What exactly happened and how did you feel? Okay, so you realize that I didn't have boundaries with, let's say, for example, people who would like be in my personal space. I'm not really a big person on hugging, that may be your thing. And you realize, hey, I really didn't like that. I really felt uncomfortable. And why didn't you set boundaries? Well, I didn't set boundaries because I felt like I would hurt people's feelings, or I just was too afraid to speak up, things like that. So I always think that it's great to kind of like look back so that you're really able to define and figure out, why do I want to set these boundaries? Why do I want this particular thing? Is it because I feel like that's what I'm supposed to do? Or really, really this is what I want versus this is what other people are saying that I should want. So where do I start? I think it's just a lot of times we overcomplicate things, or we just complicate things in general. You want to set boundaries. What are these boundaries? And literally start small. You can start small, you can start big. Just start, because you know that obviously you're uncomfortable. You don't really like feeling the way that you feel. So in order for you to change that means that you've got to change you. You've got to change something that you're doing. Obviously, you probably haven't been setting boundaries. Now you need to. So a lot of times some people feel as if like, oh, I have to prepare people, so I've got to announce what I'm going to do. And I know me here, I've been guilty of that. Me like putting out this thing of saying, I'm going to stop doing this. And, if you've been doing this to me, then, now I'm no longer going to take that. I'm no longer going to accept that. So it's kind of like this PSA. People don't care. They don't read that. A lot of people, you put something, you write this long thing up, all these things that you're going to do. No one's paying attention to that. They see it and they keep it moving. It's more so that people go off of your actions. You have to show them better than you can tell them. I think that's the saying. I'm going to show you better than I can tell you. So show people that you mean business. So you telling someone that, hey, I want to set these boundaries. Like a perfect example is sex. You don't want to have sex with the person that you're with, for whatever reason. And so, hey, this is a boundary. Like when we get together and we hang out, I don't want you to touch my thigh or kiss on my neck or, do any of the things that can lead us to that place that I don't want to go, which is sex. So yes, have the conversation. I think in that particular situation, have the conversation. That's how you start. Have the conversation and let that person know that these are the things that I need to happen and that I want to happen. And you can, kind of check the temperature and see what that person thinks or feels, and go from there. At the end of the day, you know that you want to set these boundaries. If that person is not okay with that, then after that, it's like, okay, maybe that means that I need to exit. So that's for that particular situation and many other situations. So in the situation with like, sex, let's say that that person is agreeing to these boundaries, and you guys get in a predicament, a situation where you're watching a movie and they start to kind of inch a little closer and they begin putting their hand on your thigh. Well, now is the time for you to put those boundaries into action. Put them up, show, hey, I'm serious about this. Like, hey, I don't feel comfortable. I said that this is what I needed and what I wanted. You said that you were okay with that. What's up? Like, hold on now. And if that person is continuing to try to push, then I think that it is very important to realize, hey, that person is not where I am. And so that's the case for that situation and many other situations. Someone who may be in your personal space, anyone who's smoking around you, you don't want them to smoke, anyone who tries to belittle you or disrespect you, boundaries even with your parents, with family members, people asking you questions. There may be something that you really don't want to talk about or discuss, a place that you really don't want to be in. There may be someone that you don't want to be around, and people keep bringing this person around. Once you've made it clear that these are the boundaries that I've set, and if it's up to those people in your life to determine if they want to abide by that or not. And that's another thing. It's like, you can't get upset with other people for not agreeing to these boundaries. All you can do is control you. You know what I mean? Like, you control yourself. You set those boundaries and let it be. A lot of times people may not agree with it. They may feel like you're being selfish. They may feel like it's wrong for you to feel that way or operate that way, because a lot of times people are used to you being one particular way. And a lot of times people feel like that's you. Like, that's you. They're happy with you. And I think that sometimes that's how it is. We are so used to people being a certain way that when they begin to change, we feel like that's not right. I can't deal with that. Like, nope. So when you start to set these boundaries, there will be a lot of people who just can't get with it. So you know what you do when they can't get with it? You tell them, get lost. You don't even have to tell them. You just begin to distance yourself because you've made it clear. Timer. You've made it clear what your boundaries are, and that's that. You just leave it at that. So when it comes to, how do I start? You just start. You sit down with yourself alone and decide, this is what I don't like, this is what I need to change, and these are the boundaries that I need to set. I'm going to start them. So in some situations, I do think that it's good to have conversations with people. And in other situations, I think you just start. You start showing people how you want to be treated, the boundaries that you've set and how they cannot be crossed. And so that means that you have to be very serious and very stern. You have to be firm on that and sure. And I think sometimes that is what's difficult when it comes to boundaries, is we're not really used to setting boundaries. Like, if you're a person that's not used to it, it can be very difficult. And there are people who take advantage of that because they know that you're not used to setting boundaries. So they're like, he's saying that, she's saying that, but I already know that's going to be over and done with, after a week or two. So they kind of, they go with you for that short amount of time, and then they start reverting back to, what they're used to with you. But you've got to say, nope, I am saying that this is what I want, this is what I need, and that's that. What do y'all think? What are some boundaries that you've set, some boundaries that you're wanting to set? Maybe you're having a little bit of trouble, or was there ever a time that you set some boundaries and you had a person in your life or people in your life who just were not okay with it? What did you do? As always, continue to do things that matter and keep it random. I'll see y'all for my next video or next Saturday for our next 7-Minute Saturday. Peace.